These are illegals, foreign nationals from outside the United States coming across the border from Mexico, without permission or paperwork to do so.
Being advised via radio that there's a presence of at least 8 individuals that are setting up for the illegal entry. We already have the helicopter close to that area, and we have a unit also on site. Okay, well, let's see if we can go there.
We're on a ride along with El Paso Border Patrol, and it's their job to intercept the migrants. With people coming across, this isn't a spur-of-the-moment decision for them. Have they been planning this for a while?
For years.
For years. And so really what we're about to come across is sort of the biggest day of someone's life, in a way. Wow.
Biggest and sometimes the saddest.
Biggest and sometimes saddest, yeah. But before we can get there, there's an update.
Turnbacks, they just call them turnbacks. Presence of the helicopter is there. It's gonna be difficult for them to decide to cross us. They're just gonna wait.
There's another call, this time about a smaller group of migrants. This is the work of the Mexican cartels. They deliberately create chaos for the US authorities, making it easier to smuggle people through the gaps.
There was a report of 1 or 2 individuals at Ardovino's parking lot. We have some agents on site already, so horse patrol unit is there. Yes.
They got them with this, probably from the facility.
So from before, there was a call about maybe 8 or 10, and then they retreated. Now got a call about 1 or 2 people who've been spotted in this parking lot where we are now. There's a whole bunch of people who have arrived.
Our agents were reported 2 individuals that entered illegally. Mm-hmm. They come through this area right here.
Okay.
They went down from the mountain and they just got into that area on the back of this fence.
And then we find them, 2 males who have traveled across the border separately.
They are willing to talk with you guys. I'm gonna translate off camera, right?
Hello, hi.
Hola.
I'm sorry I don't speak Spanish. How are you today?
Pues bien, lo que cabe bien.
Where have you come from?
De Parral, Chihuahua, la tierra de Villa,
How long have you been traveling for?
para acá. 8 días.
How were you treated by the people getting you here?
No, realmente no pagamos nada, ¿no? Pues hasta ya que los brincas cuando paga uno, ¿verdad?
You haven't paid.
No.
What happens if you don't pay?
Oh, sometimes it's the worst. Can
Really?
happen.
Pues muchas veces le pasa a uno lo peor.
It's 6 a.m. We're with Border Patrol, the agency responsible for securing the boundaries of the United States.
As you can see, we're very, very close from the border itself. Minutes away from the border before those migrants can get into the community itself.
And disappear, essentially.
Yes, at the end of the day, the smugglers are being telling them that that's the fastest way to escape from authority, right? They just start running, heading to the community, jump into a house, and try to get away with it. As you can tell, the residents, they know who we are. They're pretty much seeing us every single day. And most of the times they just directly call us and tell us, that I have 5 people in my backyard.
They'll try and get a ladder over this.
Yes, correct. They try to slide on this side of the border by grabbing the holes of the barrier. These are made of metal and of course concrete inside on the middle. And with the friction itself and with the heat, that we have seen recently.
Rip your hand off.
Yeah, they use some gloves.
This is the 18-foot high.
Yes, this is 18 foot high.
And it's still so big. It's so tall.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. 18 foot high. And it's still so big. It's so tall. Yeah, it is. 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 Yeah, it is
Agent Herrera takes us to the spot in the mountains where the migrant from Chihuahua crossed over the border.
As you can see, this is the border between United States and Mexico. There's no border fence, and that's Mexico. It goes all the way towards through the other side of this mountain. What divides both countries is main road, right?
And that's it, it's literally it.
That's it.
And standing with one foot in
Exactly.
300.
And this is a very rocky terrain with high cliffs. We have seen multiple injuries from migrants themselves when they're crossing these mountains.
And making it a desirable place to cross, but it doesn't make it any less dangerous.
Exactly. Also, transnational criminal organizations, they try to do whatever it takes for them to get away with it, try to get away with it. That's the reality. Always willing to endanger those migrants. They have paid a huge amount of money for them to be crossed illegally. And at the end of the day, they're only placing them in danger.
Is it appropriate to ask how much is paid? Or?
$7,000
$7,000.
por solamente trabajando aquí, porque de otra
You
manera.
have to be able to get a job to be able to pay that fee. And if that fee isn't paid, there's going to be consequences. Wow.
So he's in debt.
He's in debt. He doesn't have the money to do it.
Sí, porque de hecho allá pues nunca los junta uno, ¿cuándo?
How long have you been planning this journey?
Pues la mera verdad tengo todo el año para.
A year. Was there a big thing that happened that made you make this decision?
No, porque realmente, pues, como le digo, es que ahí en el pueblo donde vivo yo, existe la mafia, ¿verdad? Y no
Because there's
honradamente no
gang
dejan
units,
trabajar.
you know, and in the place where I work, and they don't let us work. You know, they're always controlling the
Honradamente no dejan trabajar a
territory.
uno. Y además no les gusta algo o no les parece, y como le digo,
And something that it's, you know, they don't like, they're gonna take you out.
siempre lo quieren tener uno con la parte en el
They always
cuello.
want to have you underneath of your food.
Who makes the rules in Chihuahua?
¿Quién es la autoridad?
The mafia.
El Chapo.
When you say Chapo, is that mafia? I mean,
There is a criminal lord.
criminal lord.
Yeah, drug lord
Okay.
from the Cartel of Sinaloa.
Okay.
From here, they believe they still have access.
He's in the prison, but he still is.
That's
in
what
charge.
he believes.
Okay.
Joaquin Guzman, known by his Spanish nickname El Chapo or Shorty, is one of the most notorious and violent drug lords in the world.
El Chapo, who was captured in Mexico and extradited to the U.S. in 2016. He is currently serving a life sentence in a maximum security prison after being convicted of drug trafficking, money laundering, and weapons charges.
If he comes back.
If he comes back, he's going to be in a lot of danger.
Aquí siente uno más seguro que en la tierra de uno.
Here, you feel more secure, more safe than in our own territory, our own country.
I don't know why there is so much adrenaline running through me now, just in that one moment. We're speaking so casually and almost truly, his spirits are surprisingly high for someone who's been through a really grueling 8-day journey. And I'm not sure why that's had such an extreme effect on me, that conversation. As someone who has been pushed from their home due to sheer desperation and actually seems very happy to be here.
What they're doing right now is a mobile intake. Once the processing intake is complete, and he's going to be placed in removal proceedings under Title 8.
Is he going to be sent back?
More likely. And those are the things that we're trying to, to voice, constantly.
Yeah.
There are consequences by you coming illegally through the country under Title 8, and you will be removed
Right.
out of the country. So.
And do you think that actually they are really not aware of those consequences when they make
Sometimes
this
they're
decision?
not aware.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just like, we're convinced by somebody else,
Yeah.
they can make it. But this is the reality,
Yeah.
We're seeing it every day.
So they said it's more than likely that he will be sent back pretty quickly, and he said that he is in debt, $7,000. He won't be able to pay that. unless he is here and gets a job. He's going to be sent back and he's going to be in some pretty serious trouble, it seems. He doesn't seem totally aware of that reality yet, that he's probably not going to be allowed to stay. Quite often, it's the families of the migrants that have paid these extortionate fees, but the transaction comes with little guarantee of safety or success.
The smugglers, they don't care. They just don't care. They're getting paid anyway. So whether the migrant makes it or he doesn't, they're gonna get paid.
It doesn't matter if they don't get the fee if they cross the border, they get the fee regardless.
Exactly.
And human life doesn't matter to them.
I'm talking about a multi-billion-dollar enterprise.
How much does the average
smuggling.
smuggler earn?
We have heard ranges from the $18,000 to $6,000 per person.
Per person? How are people getting connected and understanding and, being put in touch with these people to create that journey?
Exactly.
It's
That's
like
why
an
we call them
underground network.
transnational criminal organizations, because we have learned that they're just not smugglers trying to cross migrants across the border illegally. It is an entire network of connections that they have, not only in South America or Mexico, but other countries in the world.
A few years ago when we were all hearing about these detainment camps and children were being separated from their parents, is that still happening? Is that still the case?
This is not the case anymore. We have a high priority to maintain or keep those family units together at all times. We need to make sure that they have enough documentation to prove that they're a family.
That they are actually a family, that these are their
because
children.
we have seen some situations in the past also where smugglers utilize some kids to bring with a family, and they end up not being part of a family.
Right. 2021 was a record year for unaccompanied minors crossing the border, with over 23,000 children processed by Border Patrol agents.
These two girls were encountered as a part of a group of 7 migrants total. Our agents determined that these two girls had no other family members with the group, so that's why they were treated as unaccompanied children.
Not that long ago, we had a situation when our agents here apprehended a group. In between that group, there was a female that she claimed that her little daughter was taken away from her by the smugglers across the border. We take her into custody, and of course we, inform every law enforcement agency out there, even to the government of Mexico, start looking for that little children. A day later, around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, we had a sensor activation in a mountain. When our agents respond, they found a 2-year-old little girl in the middle of nowhere.
On her own?
On her own. That little kid happened to be the daughter of that female that we had found a later prior.
What had happened to? Why was she alone? Why had she just been abandoned?
The smugglers don't care.
They don't. So smugglers will take a 2-year-old kid away from their mother and then just abandon them.
Yes, that's who we're dealing with.
That's that
every single
level.
day.
That's a level of evil.
It really is.
That's a level of evil.
It really is. She was able to reunite with her mother, but for some reason, the smugglers they just decide to split them apart.
The border between the United States and Mexico stretches for more than 2,000 miles. Here in the El Paso sector, federal agents are responsible for around 260 miles. And without doubt, the work they do carries a heavy burden.
We have a good saying in the patrol that it's at the end of the day, you want to go safe back home to your family. We're humans. We're family members, part of this community. We're enforcing the immigration law, and we're seeing individuals being placed in dangerous positions and doing whatever it takes, even putting ourselves in danger to be able to rescue that individual.
And maybe actually what I didn't understand at all is that There seems to be this idea that people who are working in border patrols, like local vigilantes wanting to stop this, and there's some kind of enjoyment that's got from it, or there's so not the case that there is a huge amount of compassion. And actually the trauma, because you're having to see human life at the extreme, and the toll that takes on you as an individual shouldn't be underestimated.
We need to be able to make those split of a second decisions. We're always willing to stop whatever we're doing, and that life in need is a priority.
It feels really hard having an opinion on this because I'm so far removed from it. It makes me appreciate how fortunate I am to live in a country where I'm safe and I'm not fleeing persecution. And it sounds so simple to say that, but I think I've only sort of probably begun thinking about it today, being so starkly confronted with it.